A lot of work going on here with this truck. Pull the AC alternator off here. Put a DC alternator here. Put a brand new DC alternator here. This one wasn't working properly. I think the diodes were out in it. Ran tests on the stock alternator. That one worked out well. A brand new optimized battery, Optima battery in here. Some 3/0 cable going to the back. Got good alignment on all the belts. Ran new field wires. This AC alternator's here. It was in there. Just ran a new field to it. If you're working on trucks, these shop lights work pretty good for that. That was a good idea from six-pack. So, dirty girl here. A lot of regulators, a lot of testing going on, a lot of systems. This is not the system that we built for this truck. This truck is kind of a Band-Aid, so this actual console was built for a different truck, and I had to kind of make this all work on this one. And it did. It worked out. Moving on to the back. I installed systems in here, so we got this truck. They did not have the holes down there on the floor. We put these in there for we could hook up our ground cables and route our wires and how we wanted to do it. This box is temporary. I'm going to remove it all, build a whole new console, a whole new box for here. So all of this is kind of getting put together to get tore back apart at a later date. Trying to get this truck ready for Louisiana. So we have one AC alternator still hooked up. It's in with the cap bank system. That's the backup rectifier. Actually, we had two ACs. We decided to go with two DCs and one AC. System seemed to run a little bit better. Going to the DC alternators. Cap bank. Oh yeah. Each one of those caps are 63,000. There's 24 of them. Quite large. Trip-light inverters, they are the key answer. I had a Harbor Freight pure sine wave one in here, and I'm thinking it's messed up. I'm kind of hoping it is, because another friend of mine had bought one of those units. But this is a Trip-Light 2000 frequency controlled. Very clean. The price had doubled on these things since I bought this one. This one here was about $450. I think they're about $800 now. Somewhere in there. You might get them a little cheaper, catch them on sale. Super Pack, run the radio, run the driver. 1953 freaking brand spanking new dummy load. This is for testing. So I have an old school, blacked out, 5 transistor Toshiba 2879s, all of them, including the driver. So we're going to run a test on that. Let's take a look at the slugs real quick. We're going to go into dummy load. 500 watt slug and a 2500 watt slug. So we're going to check out what this little 5-pill will do. Just run on the inverter. I'll start the truck up because I don't want to kill the batteries. I'm going to give it a little bit of gas, make sure my RPMs are up, won't bog the motor down. Oh, I forgot something. I forgot to turn everything on. I have to hit one switch because that is no longer up here. So I got to do it like my old ugly truck. Do it in the back. Walk to the back and turn on the switch. There we go. We should be live here any second. There we go. Everything lit up. Cool, cool. Voltage on the dash. Stock alternator's running this whole system right now. Find a microphone. Something's not on. Something's not hooked up. Oh, that's 500 watt. All right, here we go. 14.9 on the radio, 15.1 on the 5-pill, 2,500 watt slug. Get a little carrier. Oh, it's 2,500 watt slug, top scale. That's 750. Oh, here's your voltage. Oh, dropping 1/10 of a volt. Radio's on top. Audio, solid. Oh, so if I hit this switch, it puts it to the 500 watt slug. Oh, oh, oh. So let's back down the driver and see if we can keep it under 500. Put 12 volts. Back down the radio. This is where the system comes in, and there's a lot of control. 12 volts. Okay. This is a 500 watt slug. Oh, get a little carrier. Watts? No, that's a 500 watt slug. Center scale. Oh, about 400 right there. Audio, 380. Oh wow, it's stretching. I can do this. Audio, 380. Audio. Look at what the voltage is doing. Audio. I'm dropping 1/10 of a volt. I'll turn it up just a little bit. We'll go 13 right in there. Oh, all right, good there. Oh, 450. Audio, pretty awesome. So I can pretty much do whatever I like with my voltage. You got to stop at 16 volts on this one. Oh, actually, this power pack actually has 25 volt components in there, so I don't have to worry about it. But we'll go 16.6. Leave the radio at 12 for kicks. Let's turn it up. Let's see what it does to this. Yo, that's 500 watt slug. Here's 2,500. Oh, 750. Not quite. I'll turn up the radio. Oh, that's too much dead key. Oh, that's a 25. That's a 2,500 watt slug. Each line's 50 watts on this. Top scale. Yo, 800 bird out of 5 pills. Toshiba's at that voltage. Freaking awesome, isn't it? Now he's done stunk up my garage. These systems are nice, but I think I've learned either I've purchased a bad inverter from Harbor Freight, that Juniper pure sine wave inverter, because it was literally drawing the motor down and doing all kinds of bad things. If I ran the unit just on the batteries, it worked fine. And if I turned the motor on, it drove the motor down, and then it put the power supply actually in a protection mode. So I did multiple tests on trying to figure this stuff out, and trip light is the way to go. I truly think that this Juniper here is bad. It's just not what it's just got a problem. I think truly it's just a bad unit, but I'm not going to go back down that road. I think we're just going to go ahead and get some trip light inverters. So this was the other system in here, 100 plus amp power supply, and it ran really well, but I had questioned it. The reason why I questioned it, this is the first truck I tried to put it in, and I was having inverter problems. So I even accused the alternator at one point and went and changed over from the stock alternators. Excuse me, I caught the hiccups real quick. I took off the stock alternator power wires there, and I hooked up that AC alternator over there and went to and ran the truck with that. And it wasn't that even. It did the same thing with the Leesonville, the AC. Rectified in the back and regulate it with a different regulator externally and all that. I did a lot of testing today alone, but it wasn't the alternator's problem. It wasn't a Leesonville alternator problem, nor the one running the truck. The problem, and it wasn't the inverters. The equipment ran perfect. It turned out that I believe this inverter was the problem. So if you guys are thinking about getting one of these systems that I'm designing, which is fine, I'm going to tell you the best way to go is with a trip light frequency controlled 2000 watt inverter. And yeah, they're kind of pricey, but I'll tell you what, they're worth their weight in gold. They work really, really well. So with that said, all I got to do is hit a switch and everything is dead. 5-pill's dead, the radio's dead, the entire system's dead. So no weight, no heavy batteries back here. This system runs on pure alternator brute. The filter caps are filter caps, exactly what they are. They have very little storage capacity. They're a filter. So you better have some alternators if you try to go to a cap bank system. As far as the inverter super pack system that runs your radio and your driver, it works great, but you're going to spend a little bit of money on the inverter. But if you have one of those vehicles, you can't put an alternator in. You get the inverter, and you can take and probably run a pretty good sized box. So there's a lot more testing I want to do with just this inverter by itself. I'd like to take and try to run a couple 100 amp packs or 120 amp packs on this thing and see how it loads up, how it holds up. So I mean, the trip light's got a circuit breaker built into it, the whole bit. You have the remote. I ended up taking this one out of my truck. I have to order a new one tonight, tomorrow. Got to find one, 2 of them actually. I got to order, and then this one will go back in my truck. So there we go. We got this system pretty much lined up. I was waiting for a ball mount to come in. I ended up taking one off another truck and got it cleaned up. So I am about ready, if the weather permits tomorrow, to go out and attempt to take and get this thing tuned up. Because I do believe we getting closer to our goal on this truck. Got about 9 days left. So I've been working on this truck for about 4 days now, I guess. Yeah, I've been in this one for about 4 days. Like I said, did a lot of work under the hood, changed alternators around, things that I didn't like. I changed it. 6-pack went under the truck and totally bonded it with ground strap. This was here, but there was none under the truck. Don't understand why, but this is how this truck came to us, and this is how we build trucks, or how I build a truck. And 6-pack goes under there, and his truck, he's grounding it. The guy that owns the truck has to get under it, because man, my old butt does not want to do it. Oh, that said, I think we're getting right on time on this thing. Get that antenna system dialed in next. So as far as the systems go, the voltage system, the wiring, the grounding system, the bond system, this antenna system was not designed for this truck. This was for another truck. I could have brought this thing down. Yeah, it's hijacked. It's up in the air. And we had to do it to level it up. I could have easily corrected it. But this, like I said, was built for another truck. You just have to cut this pipe down, cut that pipe down, and the whole thing will come down into play. But this is a Band-Aid truck. This is just going to get old 6-pack through a couple breaks have a little bit of fun with it. Might be a winning truck, might be a losing truck. It might be a truck that catches on fire. You never know. Just trying to have some fun. Yeah, it's inside of my shed. It's cold out here too. So, there you have it. Just working. Molly zips in the house because it's too doggone cold out here. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Take care. Hope you enjoyed the video. This is how you build a shootout truck. I ain't worried about all that console stuff. We'll deal with that stuff later. As long as everything functions. It's the only thing that matters to me. Catch y'all later. I'm out of here. Going to the left. Boom.